This presentation is on the leadership styles of Vlad the Impaler and Florence Nightingale by Jackie Schaefer. Florence Nightingale was famous for inspirational quotes, one of which is, "To be in charge is certainly not only to carry out the proper measures yourself, but to see that everyone else does so too." She was able to display the meaning of this quote through two types of leadership styles, transformational and visionary leadership. Through both types of leadership styles, she was able to lead the way for her social reform and healthcare policy by developing leadership development for the workforce and nursing to come, and was a role model for women throughout history and today. Vlad the Impaler, on the other hand, is known throughout history for killing his enemies or anyone who opposed him by impaling their bodies through spikes until they died, identified with three types of leadership styles, which were autocratic, authoritative, and tyrant leadership. Through these leadership styles, Vlad used intimidation, fear, and egocentric behavior to ascend him into power, with defeating the Ottomans and ruling over his country, which helped him also become a legend throughout history. Both Vlad and Florence shared a leadership style, and this was leadership by inspiration. Florence remained focused towards her goals and mission, and that played a significant part in her advocacy. She continued to stay positive even when faced with opposition and barriers. She was committed to the success of her goals, and people recognized that and gravitated towards her. Although hard to comprehend, Vlad implemented this trait by cruelty, but was able to utilize his war tactics to inspire soldiers to stand against enemies who were more skilled at war than themselves. Vlad would win battles with his war tactics, which enabled his soldiers to express confidence in their leader and in return fight for him. He was also a role model for his people during this time, since he was committed to liberating himself and his people from the Ottoman rule. For this was seen as a noble cause and has defined him as a hero in Romania. Also, both Vlad and Florence displayed high levels of confidence and courage. Florence worked hard through adversity, even in war zones, and made immense changes in healthcare without fear, which gave her the confidence and courage to achieve her goals. Vlad took the initiative of leading people against the well-organized Ottoman army to take back the leadership of this country, which took courage, skill, and a lot of confidence. They were both very loyal to their people and their causes. Florence developed a caring personality that would gravitate people towards her. Vlad showed his loyalty differently, as he was loyal to protect his interests and his people, but he used very disciplined tactics to the liberation causes. Florence and Vlad shared these characteristics of being loyal, disciplined, showing perseverance, and continually challenging others and the norm during their times, which helped them develop their leadership skills. Leadership style can influence the success or failure of a leader depending on the circumstances of implementing the leadership, the culture in which the leadership is being implemented on, and the time period that the leadership style is being utilized. What was effective leadership style under certain conditions of the past during implementation could very well lead to failure if utilized in our modern society. Deciding on a hero versus villain was difficult after researching into these two individuals, since historical figures and their statuses are usually very subjective to each individual and what their beliefs are. However, the ultimate hero status between the two will go to Florence, since she challenged the status quo and had the vision to put women in the workforce during a time period when that was not common, and her legacy left behind was the leadership skills, inspiration, and advances in healthcare. Vlad is also a hero to some, in the way that he helped his people. Even though he did this by utilizing very cruel tactics, he was very loyal to his people, and this still gives him the regard by some as a hero. Vlad is also the villain between the two. For the same reason he is coined the hero, he is depicted as the villain. He used very harsh and cruel tactics to free his people and led by intimidation and fear, known for impaling people as a scare tactic.